Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I'm going to just go over basically an overview of what happened at CitizenCon 2016. It is finished, it is over, it was a great time. It started off with Sandy on stage. She was introducing the show as normal. We had a little video highlighting the journey so far from the original Kickstarter day to now. She also gave a shout out to a guy called Rico, who is the chap who created the barcitizen.sc website, where you can find all the different bar citizens, basically the pub meetups around the world. Apparently within 3 weeks there have been 27 bar meetups. One was requested in York. I will try and set that up at a later date, maybe when everything's calmed down a bit. But she also mentioned 2 people have reached the 1,042 referrals, so they each receive a Million Mile High Club pass. Also a big thanks to the volunteers and the streamers who went out there, and all the staff of course. After that she handed it to Chris Roberts. And again, we took a look over the timeline for Cloud Imperium, showing how CIG has grown over the years. I won't bother showing it all. If you want to check it out, do feel free. He also said that they want to give us tools to interact in-game and out of game. So this is to do with the kind of org 2.0, which is now basically the website 2.0. Starting with community tools, they want to connect fans with devs. They also want to connect each other in the game and in real life, so we can talk while we're in-game or in real life, it doesn't make a difference. And allow communities to thrive within Star Citizen universe. This is going to be called Spectrum. What they're showing us now is 1 year of work. There's a real-time web application offering all the community communications in Star Citizen. It's modelled after many communication platforms. Discord is a clear influence in this. They're not taking the classic route at all. This will basically allow you to talk to friends, as I said, who are not in the game, even though you are in the game, so it's going to be quite versatile. The focus is on usability and community first. They're going to provide tools for community customization as well. So it works in real time. It's got a rich modern chat. You can embed media from external sites. You can give your own reactions. The forums are also real time. More of a modern forum take. They're quite rapid, very fast. They've got classic forums, Q&A and live, plus private messaging. You can have a presence of who's online. You'll have notifications, alerts and mentions, etc. So very much what we see in a lot of modern day communication platforms. Each org will have access to these features, and you can build your own site as an org and grow your org as you wish. Also, voice is coming as well, so there'll be voice lobbies, just like Discord again, voice transmissions, out-of-game transmission, as well as spatialized voice throughout the game engine. I think that means VoIP, and we didn't see any of that. I would love to hear what the in-game VoIP is going to be like. There'll be support for the web version, the desktop app, which is through the CIG launcher, and mobile and tablet devices. Game integration will have friends and contacts, a rich game presence, they say, party management, so you can set up the missions before you go live, and then people can just join in as you want them to. They will have location-aware lobbies as well, so wherever you are in-game, it will say where you are. Game notification transport, which will let you know when things are in the game are happening as well, and where they're happening. Overlay integration, in and out of universe communication bridge, basically. Now, during the live demo of this platform, we saw there was a camo hornet. That looks pretty cool. Also, default icons, so you can sort of react to things. You'll be able to upload your own emojis eventually. There's no pages. You just keep scrolling and it'll keep popping up. You can hover over replies to see them pop up as well. So the roadmap for this is pretty soon. So before the end of this year, this will also bring the new launcher. The alpha browser version will be on with forums and chats, notifications, private messaging and friends. After that, they'll have a game presence, additional customization for orgs and emojis. 6 to 8 weeks, the launcher integration as a desktop app, in-game overlay, voice support, and mobile support. So that was basically nothing too exciting, but it is very useful and it is very necessary. So, we'll skip on from that. After this, they brought up the RSI Polaris announcement trailer. Very, very cool. Vega 2 attacks. We got to see the Idris Bridge in action. Very, very nice. The sale, I will make a separate video on because there's quite a lot of options available. So do keep an eye out for that. Do subscribe. So when it came to Squadron 42, now they did want to show off a mission of Squadron 42, but Chris said it wasn't ready. We'll talk more about that later on, but Squadron 42 will be 28 chapters, which is about the equivalent of 60 plus missions. It'll have an A-list cast, as we know. There's even more people that they haven't told us about, which will be a surprise later on. 40 distinct ships to fly and be in. That includes fighters to dreadnoughts, also some Vandal stuff and things that we haven't seen at all. Handcrafted environments plus part procedural, systemic, space and FPS gameplay, anything from stealth to brute force. You can approach the mission, every mission, in any way you want. dogfighting both in space and in planet atmosphere, and obviously Subsumption AI, which is systemic, 24-hour schedules, 1,000 plus subroutines, simultaneous secondary objectives as well. So talking about Subsumption itself, it'll have a pathfinding logic, not anything like traditionally that we have seen before. On moving ships, obviously it's a bit more of a challenge. Full animation integration, you don't want it to feel like typical AI. Mission system integration, enhanced flight AI as well, which makes them fly better. They really want to push the AI, and I just cannot wait to see it in action. Also, object container streaming, CPU and GPU optimization. So for Squadron 42, all characters and gameplay features are in about grey boxing or better. That's the current status as where they are. They're taking one chapter to final shipping quality, which flushes out any of the technicalities, the integration and polish issues. They wanted to show it again tonight, but it's not ready just yet. They want to get it to be an actual final product, so exactly how the game is going to play before they show us. And he says it's important to do that, to show that. If it was the persistent universe, then he says fair enough, but with it being Squadron 42, it needs polish. He also did say it's not going to be out at the end of this year, it's going to need some more final polish, and it'll be out early next year. I am fine with this. It's a shame, but that's the way the game development goes. That's why we pledged without publishers. So they're also building technology and systems for the long term and the whole Star Citizen universe. There's no shortcuts. So, talking about something that everyone wants to know about, 2.6 progress. I thought it was going to come tonight. Unfortunately, the Evacoti have not even been testing it from what I understand. They're going to add additional Star Marine features. They're going to update Arena Commander. We will get on to AC and Star Marine as well. The Crusader map will have expanded content. Lobbies and leaderboards will be refactored. The flight model is being rebalanced as we speak. Evacoti are testing this. New music system. Camera system update for third person, so you have better tools for making videos and capturing things. And also to stay in game without having to go back and forth to the lobbies. So for Arena Commander, they've got a new virtual ship customization interface where you can equip things in the lobby, or your weapons and components. A new Pirate Swarm Arena. Persistent missiles, so you cannot fire all missiles and then crash to get them replenished. Your reloads will be coming from pickups from dropped enemies, so killed enemies. A full scoring rebalance. Most ships now, they say, will be available for private matches as well. So in Star Marine, their locations currently are Station Damien, which is a small space station. That's going to be a 4v4 map. Then there's Echo 11, which is more of an asteroid base. Quite a bit bigger, and that's a 12v12. So there's two different sort of game modes. You've got Deathmatch or Control. But the new content will be new armor, new weapons, new grenades, tactical visor with the radar, the friendly player ID as well, the new looting system, and achievements and ribbons. I really like this achievement and ribbons. It really it gives it longevity and you want to play it more. So for 3.0, which is going to be the Stanton system, professions will be trading, cargo transport, piracy and smuggling, mercenary work, and bounty hunting, plus a bit more of the system rollout. This will be version 2, which is what we saw last night. The ships available there will be the RSI Ursa Rover, the Dragonfly and the Caterpillar, and the Aquila. Whether or not these ships that I read out are going to be hangar ready or flight ready, it's unspecified. I would have thought the Rover, the Dragonfly, and the Aquila will be flight ready. Whether or not they can get the Caterpillar ready, I reckon the Caterpillar may just be hangar ready by then, but fingers crossed we can fly it. 3.1 will be bringing mining and refining, so you can mine, you can refine and process. It'll also bring quantum interdiction, so you can pull people out of quantum. Refueling, escorting, as well as additional solar system locations. The ships coming with 3.1 will be the Cutlass Red and Blue, the Hull C, the Prospector, and the Origin 85X. Now, just so you know, these releases, like between 3.1, 3.2, they're not going to be every month. They're likely to be 2 to 3 months between them, so don't expect we're going to get everything I read out now within the next 4 months. It's going to be spread out throughout the year. 3.2 will bring repair and salvage. Also, it'll bring mercenary and with covert ops, it says, plus additional solar system locations. The ships will be the Constellation Taurus and Phoenix, the Terrapin, the Vanguard, Harbinger and Sentinel, and the Reclaimer. So excited for that one. 3.3 will bring farming and rescue, plus obviously solar system locations, and the ships for that will be the Karak, the 890 Jump, and the Banu Merchantman, and all the Reliant variants. So the Banu Merchantman will be at 3.3, I would say roughly about mid next year. He also mentioned that once the UK have finished Squadron 42 and got all the Vandal ships done as well, they'll move on to the big ships, to the big new ships, like the Karak, the Banu, the Hull C, the The US will be working on smaller ships like the Buccaneer and the F8 and so forth. That's how they're going to distribute the ships between studios. 4.0 will bring jump points. You can travel to multiple star systems, exploration and discovery, science and research, and the ships for 4.0 will be the Orion and the Crucible. So the Orion's the mining ship, the Crucible is the repair sort of mechanic ship. These are all over the next year. They're not, like he says, don't hold him to any dates. That's what he says all the time. But what we got to see next, as I say, I will go over. We're watching it now because it's the best content to put up just for you all to see it again. I've watched it multiple times. He's talking about Procedural Planets version 2. At Gamescom, we saw flying between locations. This was version 1. The planets didn't have many textures. This is more Crisis level, Battlefield 1 level quality on the planetary scale. New terrain system, runtime generation, with the FPS counter in the top. Apparently the engine generating the world is very fast, and that's the FPS they're getting. Unrestricted view distance, so basically whatever you see in the horizon you can go to. It'll have an artist-driven and procedurally enhanced ecosystem, so using procedural generation to create the planets, but artists will make them look pretty and realistic, and they'll hand-place things. Handcrafted missions supplemented by procedural content again. Once he got all this out of the way, that's when the demo came. It is literally out of this world what they are achieving right now. Even I can't explain, even though they've told us many times how they do it. It's just incredible work. So after the presentation of the V2 planets, we quickly went over to Sean Tracy, who showed us how they can create levels like what we just saw so quickly. On a different planet as well. But again, I'll create a completely separate video for this, pointing out some of the awesome stuff that you may have missed. So do keep an eye out for that as well. As I say, this is pretty much how it happened. It was quite boring to start with. I believe what they wanted to do was create kind of a shit sandwich. They wanted to show us the Squadron 42 mission, then talk about the new orgs and new website, which is very important but not as exciting, and then finish up with the V2 planets. Unfortunately, Squadron 42 didn't happen, so I think they ad-libbed and had interviews and showed some old stuff, which kind of brought the mood down. But it doesn't mean that they haven't worked hard, and they're so close to getting things out to us, I can just feel it. Anyway, as I say, I will be covering and doing and dissecting the whole V2 demo that we saw. It is just insane. I'm going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and point out things that you may have missed, or things that I've noticed that may bring some cool gameplay. Do subscribe so you don't miss this. There's going to be more videos coming out. Plus, I will be streaming as much as possible once I've recuperated from last night, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning when we finished. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. It really helps me out, guys. And I shall see you next time.
Special. And it's a very different way, I think, to make games. And we've always focused on creating tools to do that. So, you know, like even where we couldn't have friends or you getting together necessarily in the game, we created organizations for the website and ways that people can be discussing on forums and chatting and all the rest of the stuff. And it's important to us to have the ability for you to not only interact in the game, but also interact outside the game and create connections. And I think you could see from the video.